the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
A big rumor has just emerged that Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears could pursue 49ers edge rusher Nick Bosa in a blockbuster trade. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. First and foremost, Bears fans, happy Saturday to every single one of you guys. I hope you guys have a very good weekend. So on this beautiful Saturday morning, the first thing I woke up to on social media was seeing a post basically indicating that there's a rumor going around that the Chicago Bears could pursue Nick Bosa in a blockbuster trade. And Bears fans, everyone knows in NFL who Nick Bosa is. He is one of the better edge rushers in the National Football League, currently of the San Francisco 49ers. And once again, don't shoot the messenger. Don't kill me in the comment section. I am just reacting to the post that I saw. And at this moment, at this point in time, it is just a rumor. We all know that Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears have had a very good offseason. There's been even people around the league crowning us as the offseason champs for the third offseason in a row. So this is just a rumor at this point. Obviously, if the Bears pulled off a trade like this, this would be huge for our defensive line. But once again, it is just a rumor. And I will be on the record right here on today's episode of Keek on the Mic to tell you guys firsthand, I do not think this is going to happen whatsoever. This would be dumb for both organizations. You look at the San Francisco 49ers, they still believe they are in a win now window. And, you know, it just paid Brock Purdy. They just traded for Bryce Huff to pair with Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is still a huge piece to what the San Francisco 49ers are trying to accomplish. And then when you look at the Chicago Bears point of view, it makes no sense in terms of draft capital, which I'll explain, in terms of contract, the big contract that Nick Bosa carries and the cap hit that he carries. It wouldn't make sense for either party within the NFC. So let's go ahead and break this down a little bit more. And once again, I want to be on the record first and foremost before you guys absolutely drill me in the comment section on today's episode of Keek on the Mic that I do not believe that the Chicago Bears will or should trade for edge rusher Nick Bosa. First and foremost, he's only 27 years old. So I definitely get the intrigue on if the Bears were interested in a player like Bosa, still very young, definitely carries some injury history. I believe it was in his first or second year. He was out for the entire year with a torn ACL, missed a couple of games last year, but still played in 14 games, stands at 6'4", 266 pounds. Once again, one of the big reasons why I feel like this wouldn't make sense for Ryan Poles and the Bears is first and foremost, the big contract. He signed a 5-year, $170 million contract in 2023 that included $122.5 million guaranteed. He carries a 25 cap hit of $20.4 million. And then in 2026, that number goes up to $42 million. So that is a whole lot of money to invest in one player. And then you also think about the multiple high-level draft picks that we have to give the San Francisco 49ers. You're still talking about probably a couple of first-round picks, a couple of second-round picks for a 27-year-old player that, yes, he is in his prime. But once again, same thing with the Trey Hendrickson deal, that if you feel like you are in a win now opportunity, that you are one player away to possibly win the Super Bowl, then Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears would consider this move. Of course, once again, same thing that we talked about with the Trey Hendrickson deal. We are in a situation where Caleb Williams is on his rookie contract. So obviously Ryan Poles and the Bears could look to maximize that rookie contract. They feel very highly about Caleb Williams. Now with Ben Johnson in the fold, that he's going to be able to take that next step, that they could possibly win a lot of high-level football games, possibly even the Super Bowl on Caleb Williams' rookie contract. So I understand that sometimes you want to be aggressive on these rookie contracts. But to me, this makes absolutely no sense, knowing that he carries a 2025 cap hit of $20.4 million and a 2026 cap hit of $42 million. And of course, you have to give a lot of high-level draft picks as well, meaning multiple first and multiple second-round picks in order to get Nick Bosa here to Chicago. When you look at the history of Nick Bosa, He has proven once again to be one of the better young edge rushers in the National Football League. In 82 career games, he's compiled 62 and a half sacks, 11 forced fumbles. In 2024, in 14 games, did miss a couple of games, but he had 9 sacks, 69 total pressures, and 44 quarterback hurries. Don't get me wrong. This would be a game-changing move to pair with Montez Sweat, with Grady Jarrett, Javon Dexter. He could be the missing piece to take the Chicago Bears defense over the top and the Chicago Bears football team over the top, meaning making the playoffs, maybe making a deep run in the NFL playoffs. This is a guy that has a lot of experience in big time games, making multiple Super Bowls with the San Francisco 49ers, definitely has that winning DNA. And maybe the San Francisco 49ers point of view, they know that they are dealing with a huge cap hit. They just paid Fred Warner. They just paid Brandon Ayuk. They just paid Brock Purdy as well to massive contracts. Maybe they're looking to unload a big contract, knowing that he's been kind of banged up in his NFL career as well. And when you look at 21 and 22, he had 15 and a half sacks, 13 and a half sacks. And in the last 2 years, he had 10 and a half and 9 sacks. So obviously it looks like the play is maybe kind of declining, maybe not. No, he's been kind of banged up over the last couple of years. So maybe in the 49ers point of view, maybe they're looking to unload a massive contract in Nick Bosa. To me, it makes no sense knowing that he is still a huge piece to that defensive line, but you never know what the 49ers are thinking and how they actually view Nick Bosa. I'm thinking since they just traded for Bryce Huff and they just got Robert Saleh back, they are not interested in this whatsoever. And that's why it's just a rumor. And that's why I think there's absolutely zero chance that this happens. But Bears fans, let me ask you guys this. If this was a possibility, if this rumor was actually true and it started to heat up, would you want Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears to be aggressive and trade for a guy like Nick Bosa and make him a Chicago Bear? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I also want to share of a big roster change that could be coming here in Chicago. Head coach Ben Johnson already hinted at a big shift in the quarterback room. We all know that quarterback Caleb Williams is the starting QB for the Chicago Bears going into year 2. And we are all excited about the improvement and the development. And the big jump that we will possibly see from Caleb Williams now under Ben Johnson and what Ryan Poles did to build around Williams during this offseason. But Ben Johnson did basically state that Case Keenum is absolutely in the running to be the quarterback 2 here with the Chicago Bears, which to me, Bears fans, isn't surprising whatsoever. When you look at quarterback Tyson Bagent, he has been the Bears' backup quarterback for the last 2 years, and he hasn't been bad at all. He has a high work ethic, good character, good locker room guy, has been very supportive of the Bears starting quarterback, rather that's Caleb Williams or someone else as well. But when you look at Case Keenum, there is a reason why the Chicago Bears brought him in. He has far more experience and proven on the field, and that's what Ben Johnson alluded to when they brought in Case Keenum, because Keenum was actually going to retire until he visited with the Chicago Bears, and then Ben Johnson convinced Case Keenum to stay in the National Football League and come here to Chicago. This is a guy that has a lot of proven experience on the field, meaning playoff wins, a lot of just football experience. And not only that, he is going to be a great mentor and a good sounding board for Caleb Williams. And Case Keenum has already talked about his experience with Caleb Williams and Williams' experience with Case Keenum, and it has been a really good combination so far. Case Keenum said that Caleb Williams is absorbing all the information that he's giving to him, and just helping Caleb Williams get to the next level. So there is really no depth chart right now, and Ben Johnson made that very clear. They will have their first depth chart in July at the start of training camp. But this is definitely going to be a battle to watch. And personally, I do like Tyson Bagent, but I do like the idea of Case Keenum as well as quarterback 2, just for the simple fact that he does have a lot more experience. And if Caleb Williams does happen to get hurt, you know that you have a really solid backup, a quarterback that has starting quarterback experience that can keep you afloat at least if Caleb Williams does go down with injury. Here's the interesting part for Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, and the Bears organization. This is definitely going to be a battle to watch over this long summer during training camp. But let's say, they do decide to go Case Keenum at quarterback 2, right? Does that mean they're going to try to keep 3 quarterbacks? Because that's something that Ben Johnson has done before in Detroit. They kept 3 quarterbacks with Jared Goff, Teddy Bridgewater, and Hendon Hooker. They could do the same thing here. And I do know that there could be also a possibility. We talked about the scenario before that maybe they trade Tyson Bagent away to another quarterback needy team, a place where he can possibly go compete or maybe even be a high-level backup for a different team as well. I do personally know that the Bears are very high on Tyson Bagent. They wouldn't just want to cut him outright. So I could definitely see them either keeping 3 quarterbacks or possibly trying to trade Tyson Bagent away. So Bears fans, let me know down below in the comment section, who would you rather have as quarterback 2 on the Chicago Bears roster? Would you rather have the proven veteran and Case Keenum, or do you think Tyson Bagent has done well enough to deserve the quarterback 2 spot on the Chicago Bears roster? Let me know down below in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.